Yes, my Facebook friends and all my live viewers and stuff and everything. Um, just wanted to say something that I've been thinking about and stuff and everything, and it's entrepreneurship. So, as Ghetto Youths, one thing I was told, I remember when I was at university doing civil engineering, my professor said to me, um, you know, you're not going to, get rich or basically, you're not going to gain a whole lot of money from being an engineer. Well, the situation is that he said to me, if you want to basically earn a good, live a good life, you have to be an entrepreneur. Meaning that basically you have to work, you have to just try to, somehow, whether you mix a professional life with your personal life, but somehow you have to try to, to form your own business and basically be your own boss. You know what I mean? So, my attempt, and even though, I do work 9 to 5, or as what you call it, I'm my own boss because I'm a partner, my firm and stuff and everything. But my intent is to always basically own my own business. So that's my ultimate goal. You know what I mean? So I set myself up because I also have my own business in terms of real estates and properties and stuff. But where does that come from? One thing I learned is that entrepreneurs weren't born. Entrepreneurs are were created based on their circumstances. So they basically create their own reality, and that's what I did. And I can remember as far back as going to Mannings and Mark Campbell. Big up to Mark Campbell in Japan. Talk about the same thing. Is that when I was growing up, I can remember I used to sell bug juice and box drinks in Sav-la-mar market down there and stuff and everything at high school while I was at high school. So I used to sell it in the bucket and stuff and walk up and down Great George's Street and basically box drinks and sell it to folks. And it was a means of basically helping my parents, my mom at the time, provides some form of financial help for the family. So basically I went out to do it. But it teach me entrepreneurship. Although basically, I shun it at that point, at that moment, when I looked at it and stuff. I remember when I used to hide from my friends when they see me and stuff. I used to do it barefoot. But it evolved, and as it go further, my mom, basically become more entrepreneurial by, getting bag juice. We used to ride, a bicycle and stuff and everything, and went to the market every Saturday. And I used to make a lot of money, but not for myself, for my family. But that's transcends into going to mining school and stuff and everything, in which I create my own, my own business also. I remember I used to sell plum, so I used to basically buy plum, from this man called Mr. Sawyers. I used to go and buy plum in bulk from him, and then lunchtime or break time, and I used to sell a lot of plum and make a lot of money. That was my own money. I was doing that as a business. So I used to wake up extra early in the morning, go on and, find my different merchants and that I can actually buy my product from. So I was doing this at the age of 13 and 14. So at that point, I was trying to, I was making my own business. So, although, my ultimate goal is education, and my ultimate goal is to get a degree, I also basically learned entrepreneurship by it's supply and demand. I find out that plum, the females or a lot of people at Mannings love plum, so I went on to sell plums, and I made a lot of money from it. As time progressed, I started to think of different hustle. So entrepreneurship is really hustling. That's exactly what it is. So, I saw my cousin. He was a barber, and I decided, what, let's take up the barber trade. So at about 13, 14-year old, I start practicing barbering. First time, practice on my brother, made a number of mistakes, but eventually honed my skills and become a barber. I start off with razor and comb, and then, graduated to using, the machine, buy my own machine and stuff. And I remember every Saturday and Sunday, I have a number of folks, a number of my friends, I'm their barber. Coming from school in the evening, I used to go home and then basically give them a haircut so that basically, I can earn some money. But it's funny to think, I remember when, my mother used to cuss because I used to cut hair right beside the house, and I used to use her electricity. cutting hair. I never used to give her any money. She used to cuss me every day. But I still saved the money. I remember when I was going to UWI, my first trip to UWI, I had to pay my boarding fee, and I remember I had saved $23,000, and I had to pay $19,000 for boarding fee at the time, and all the money that I paid for my boarding fee was taken from my bank account that the money that I deposited in the bank as a result of my barbering. So basically, it's from that, it's from an early age I learned to be to combine education with entrepreneurship and hustling and trying to be better, because this is why it's important also. Coming from a ghetto situation, your parents is not going to always have the money to get you the stuff that you need or the stuff that you want, even the basic necessity. If it's one shoes and one or two khakis suit and stuff, that's fine. But if you want the jeans, one of the jeans and where you want a designer shoes, or or something that you can go out and enjoy livelihood by that, and basically be compared to some of your peers who can afford it and don't feel left out. You have to go out and hustle for yourself, and that's what I learned, is that I'm not going to depend heavily or wholly on my parents to get stuff done, because I see that I can hustle and get it for myself. So it's transfer. Those type of entrepreneurship transfer into my everyday life, and that's how I live. So even though I have a job as an engineer, and as a project manager for my firm, I also think about other means in which I can earn, or I can get some money. So as I said, you can see from all my posts and stuff and everything with what I'm doing with Hamilton Estate, which is my first apartment complex that I have for short, for long-term rent, and also Villa Giovanni Paris, which is short-term and long-term rent. Is that I'm combining my entrepreneurial and to put it out there to try to to reach my eventual part of self-sustenance, of making my money work for me, and being my own boss, because that's always the intention. So the situation is that it's not only going to school, getting an education. It's a combination of trying to make use of what is given to you. So because of my situation, I had to hustle. I had to be an entrepreneur. So these are the stuff that you gain as you go along. But maybe you have that knowledge, maybe you have that skill, but you don't know you have it. But you have to culture it. And I culture it from simple selling bag juice and selling box juice, walking on the road and stuff. That's where I develop my hustling skill and my hustling mentality. Maybe I frown at it at that point, because you think it's something better, you don't understand what your parents is trying to teach you. But those are valuable lessons that I've taken with me, that you have to hustle, you have to go out there and try to create your own business, and these are the stuff that as ghetto people and as ghetto youths coming out, educated ghetto youths, when you get the education and when you get a university degree, it doesn't stop there. It goes beyond that. You have to think about how can I how can I better myself up, and how can I be my own boss? How can I push myself up within a firm so that I can make my own decision? It takes some time. You have to understand that. And we talk about how you get into organization and how you progress. It takes time. But the point that you're trying to reach is when you call your own shots. You employ your own folks, and that's where all the hustling comes in. And also the eventual thing is to do it for yourself. It's to be your own boss. So it's a continuous process of developing yourself into that person that can walk away, that it's creating that self-sustenance. And that's exactly what I want to achieve, and that's what I'm trying to convey in this message, is to say, it's you can get your degree, great, get a good job, great, as try to reach the highest possible height within your career and within your whatever company you are. But at the same time, still try to make sure that you create your own independence, because that's important. That's happiness and that's livelihood. Because you can think of it. I live in America, in Washington D.C., and every day you get up, it's the same routine. You get up, go to work, come back in, sleep, go to work the next day. There's not much chance. It's not like when you're in Jamaica or when you're somewhere else or when you're working for yourself. You can choose your own time. You can choose your own livelihood. So in order to I could say, in order to for wellness and to live a long life, you need that flexibility. So wherever life takes you and stuff, and wherever your career takes you, it's always thinking of what's on the other side, and how could I do this different? How could I be more effective in or enjoy more livelihood during my day? And those are the things that you have to think of and conceive early. But it helps when you have that hustling mentality, and that people call entrepreneurship. So this, I'm going to sign off. I'm not going to be long with this and stuff, but just basically, that's my clutch word. I say it because people comment that I'm saying it always, but it's my clutch word because I view most things as basic, because without, with faith, you can look beyond stuff. So I'm going to sign off now. I want to say hello to all of my viewers: Patricia, Ayana, Simon, Simone, Jackie. Thanks for signing in. You'll see me again, but this it's really inspiring that I got a lot of message from a lot of people saying that they love my blogs and love what I'm doing. I'm trying to take it to another level, to create this whole Ghetto Youth blog, trying to create a Ghetto Youth website and stuff, which will act as a repository, for different messages and different inspirational thoughts and inspirational ideas that people can look at and can model their life of their kids from. It's not I'm not perfect in any way, but if I can lend my hand and lend my experience and people could live vicariously through it, I think that should serve as a purpose, and I'm happy to do this, and it's I think the conversation to continue. I think people should go out there, and if they can if they can share the knowledge of experience that could help, I think it's you should try to do it as well. Thank you, and hi Nick, Nicole, all the way from London. Great to see you sign on. My cousin Ribs, thanks for signing on and listening to me again. You'll hear from me next week. So it's my weekly blog. I'm gonna sign out now. Thank you all, and see you soon.